Hello, my name is Isabella Greene. Welcome to my channel. Many of you have been following me and my story of the twin flame, and today I would like to bring you a perspective and the ending of that story too, and that is what happens when the twin flame goes 3D. This is exactly what happened with me, and let's take a look at that. Different souls are at different level of development. And it is quite frequent that when twin flames find each other, they're not necessarily on the same page. They have an opportunity to get on the same page if both people are ready for that. When I first met my twin flame, it was all the twin flame symptoms, everything. You can watch my video about it, and I will put it here in the comments section. It was absolutely phenomenal. But at that moment, that man was just entering into the awakened space. He literally learned and developed telepathy with me while we were interacting. He literally learned and picked up all these skills, which he still looked at as strange, because he came, like I mentioned, he came from a very 3D background, a very 3D environment. And so for him, this whole experience was rather strange. And as he went back into his everyday life, he made the choices that absorbed him back. And you know how the Matrix always provides great reasons to go deeper into the Matrix, especially for the people who are still wobbling, especially for the people who are still on the verge of stepping into the awakened state of being. That's when we get hijacked the most, and that's when the system is super great as to yank that person back into 3D. And so that's what happened with him. He made the choices that actually digressed him in his evolution. He went back, and I was interacting with him for a number of months, actually an entire year, and I could observe that how he was losing all of the things that bloomed while we were interacting. And it ended up being so that I had to cut that interaction short, because I started observing that the energy, we were still very, very connected, but I started observing that the energy coming from him was darker and darker. He was getting pulled deeper and deeper into the dark state of being, into the dark dimension. So the energy that was coming in, every time we connected, every time we interacted, I was still getting the spins. I still knew very well when he was thinking of me. It was still very telepathic, although I try to speak with him less and less, or actually interact with him less and less. But I observed that as I progressed in my journey, he actually regressed. And perhaps there is a reason to that. Perhaps there is that balance that's being sustained here, or I don't know what the reason is, but it came to the point that I was unable to continue my interaction with him, because not only first the energy started getting darker and darker, and then I started getting really, really dark dreams. Every time he would actually be thinking about me, if I was still asleep, I would get really, really nightmarish type of dreams. And then the actual physical interaction, or the actual physical stuff that he started sending me got to be very uncomfortable for me. And it was not that he was still saying that he had the very strong feelings, and I still do have the feelings towards him as well. I just realized that my journey at this time does not permit any longer this type of interaction, because it was disrupting my balance and my peace and my well-being on the energetic level. What he was sending me was stuff that he was actually very creative. So he was writing, and he was making music, and he was singing, but the stuff that he was creating was deeper and deeper, darker and darker into 3D, and me here going higher and higher in my dimensional state and higher and higher in consciousness, the gap between where he was going, and I could see him drop in frequency more and more as I kept moving up in frequency. The gap was just getting way too big for the interaction to be comfortable. And then I listened to my quantum healing hypnosis session where I actually asked the question about the twin flame. I asked the question about the visions that I was having of him before I met him. And my question to the higher self was, is it possible to meet this person? I did not ask, is it possible to be with this person? The answer that the higher self gave was that both have to be on the same level of consciousness to actually physically be able to interact in this reality. Otherwise, you know, when you're on different levels of consciousness, different levels of frequency, the people become invisible to you. And this is how the twin flame stays invisible to you until you become or you join or you reach the level where it's possible to interact. Similarly to how we interact with the higher dimensional beings or advanced civilizations or extraterrestrials, right? They have to bring their frequency down as we bring our frequency up, and then in a between layer we have the ability to interact. So apparently it's the same way with the twin flame. So I did not ask whether I could be with him. I asked, can I meet him? And a few months later I did meet him. So that supports very well my state of being right now, because I feel that I have integrated the balance within my own self, masculine, feminine, the contentment and the state where nothing is really lacking. I tell you that as we evolve and we move into this new human state of being, this whole new state of being, the whole concept and the feeling and the sense of missing. Missing means that something is missing, right? But if you are content and complete and have integrated all of your aspects, nothing is missing, really. So any interaction or any relationship becomes an addition. That's why they say that the twin flame relationship is like Vesica Pisces, that in between piece, which is an additional piece to the two complete spheres, which is us, right? So as you evolve, you no longer experience missing or longing or wanting, and you move into that state where you're in observer state. You just observe that, okay, I have deep feelings for this person, and I know he is a part of my incarnational stream, which means it's the same soul, just in a different body, but it's this piece or that part is taking a different path than myself, and their journey is yet unfolding, or their journey is perhaps will come around, and who knows, you know, I heard stories about people saying that it took 10 years before the twin flames could be together, or 8 years until they like the one who's more asleep woke up enough. Who knows? I'm not going to make any predictions here, but the fact is that a lot of people chase that idea. Oh, I want it. I had messages from someone recently saying, oh, you should do this, and that to get together with your twin flame. And I feel that whatever took place is perfect at this time. Absolutely in perfect alignment with where I'm at, with what I'm integrating, with what I'm being. And I did meet him. And so that's a great thing. I feel that it's a gift within itself. I'm actually completely satisfied within my life, within what's happening with me, and knowing that he's having his own experience out in the world there too, and it's very different than my own at this time. All right, guys, I wanted to share this with you. If you are able to take this perspective, it's going to take the edge off for you. If your twin flame is still working on catching up with you, if you're a little bit ahead of the game, compared to them. It's all right. The souls take their own journeys. That's why you're in two different bodies. It's the same stream, it's the same consciousness, but it's in different bodies. And perhaps, especially if there is age difference, by the way, so that means that soul came in a little later, a little earlier, and so they have their own development going on. And each piece, every parallel part of yourself is having their own development going on. And so meeting that soul in a different body, your own soul, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful experience. Do not grab onto this idea that, oh my God, my life is over until I'm together with them. You don't know what's going to happen. And also evolve, keep evolving so that that edge is not there, that I need that so bad. It's not there. Flow, go with the flow. Everything is going to align itself in perfection. That's the evolved state of being, when we're not kicking and screaming and trying to force something that is not supposed to be. All right, thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you listening to me and following me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel here. I bring you all kinds of information on this channel. I love you. Take care now. Namaste.